What's up guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. So today we'll make an A-line dress and it's going to have a canoe neck or boat neck. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I upload sewing tutorials, DIY videos and style inspiration on this channel, and I don't want you to miss out on any of my videos. Give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends, and let's begin. So on my table I've already drafted my bodice pattern. You already know how we do it on this channel. We always use the basic bodice, and I've just gone ahead to trace that onto my pattern just from the shoulder line to the waistline. Okay, so we want to make our A-line dress, so I had to attach the bodice to another pattern paper so that I can get the full length of my dress, because I'm making a long A-line dress. Okay, so the full length for today's dress is 52 inches, and that's what we're working with. So just measure from the shoulder line all the way down to 52 inches. So that's my 52, and I'm going to mark my 52 there. So you go ahead and add 1.5 for your hemming allowance, so that becomes 53.5 on that point. So we're just going to mark with a straight line. After that, we want to go ahead and create our neckline. Okay, so the shoulder we're working with for this project is 16 inches, so I've marked my 8 there, which is half of the shoulder line. So we want to measure our neckline now. Because we said we want a wide boat neck, we're just going to mark 7 inches. Okay, we don't want it completely falling off the shoulder, that's why we're making 7 inches, so that we'll have a little bit more on that point where our shoulders will rest on. So I'm just marking my 7 inches there. Then from that point we want to measure the depth of our neckline. We're going to be working with 3.5. okay, so mark at that 3.5 and 7 inches there. We're going to link up the two dots. Link that point onto our 1 inch slant. Once we've done that, we just want to now connect our hip line, our shoulder line to the hip line. So we measure from our shoulder to the hip line is 26 inches. So I want to measure that and mark it there. So we're going to be using this pattern paper for most of our projects. I have about 5 more A-line dresses to do on this channel, so we'll just use this pattern paper to cut our A-line dresses. So just take note of what we're marking here, because we won't be drafting pattern for all of the dresses. So this pattern is going to be used for all the A-line dresses. The only thing we'll have to modify will be the neckline. So for this one we're making a wide boat neck, but for subsequent videos we may be making a round neck, which implies that from the shoulder line there, from that point we marked on the neckline, we're going to be creating our neck depth. So it's usually 3.5, or sometimes we could come up to 4. From there we'll just measure the depth. So you can use 5 inches, 4, 3, 7, whatever depth you want. Just know that this is the template for drafting the A-line dress. So straight away we want to measure our hip circumference, divide by 4. So on this point we have our bust line and we have our waist line. Okay, so our waist circumference divide by 4, that's the dimension we have there. So, and for our bust circumference divided by 4, we apply that there. So this is the actual measurement of our bust circumference divided by 4. But we went ahead to add 2 inches 1 inch for ease and 1 inch for our seam allowance, because we want the dress to be a bit free. Feel free to add as much ease as you want. You can make it up to 2 inches. It depends on how free you want your A-line dresses to be. There is no fixed way of doing it, but we just want ours nice and smart. Okay, so from there we'll measure our hip circumference divided by 4, working with a hip of 42 inches. Now if you divide 42 by 4, it's going to give you 10.5. so if you apply 10.5 on the hip line, then want to go ahead and add 2 inches for our ease allowance for the hip line. They want to add 1 inch for our seam allowance. So for the hip line, we've added 2 inches because we want it free on the hip, but for the bust and waist, feel free to add just 1 inch or as much allowance as you like. Now that we've done on the hip line, we'll just link that dot up all the way to the bottom of the dress. Now we'll measure what we have on the hip line. So for the hip, we have a measurement of 13 inches. So you want to apply that same 13 on the bottom of your dress. Okay, but we're not stopping there because we want it A-line. Go ahead and add up to 7 inches to expand the bottom of the dress. Next up, we're going to link the dots. So measure 13 inches and we added 5 inches to the bottom, not 7, okay? So just 5, and that is a total of 18 inches on that point, okay? So you want to go up by 1.5 inches. This is optional. You know, when you make your A-line dress, all the way on the sides of your dress, we always want it to be a bit curved. When we are done with the pattern, we just want to cut this pattern out, then we will cut our sleeve. For our sleeve, it's just the basic sleeve pattern. So just to quickly remind you that we have 2 lines here for our armhole. The front one is for the front pattern and this is for the back pattern, because we usually go in by 0.75, if you remember, for the armhole. So we're using this pattern for front and back. Next up, we want to trim up the edges of our lace. Okay, we'll use those edges to finish off the neckline and the sleeves. So we're going to be cutting the center back on fold. So this one is for the back pattern. We'll cut with the first, the wider armhole. Just place your fabric on fold and you're going to cut the first bit. Then we'll now cut the front pattern. Remember to leave out your 1/2 inch seam allowance on the shoulder line. to be 5" in length, then the second one is going to be shorter than that. So for the second one, we want to cut 2.5. Okay, so from that 2.5 point, we're just going to fold and trim off the other part, so that when we plait, it's going to look like this. So we're going to have 2 steps of the plaits like this. Make it up to 3 inches, so that when you fold, when you take in your seam allowance, you still have up to 2.5.